Hey guys, in this video, I will show you how to enable a remote connection from outside your EC2 so that users outside your EC2 can make a connection to the database you installed in your EC2. Okay, so in order to make it happen, we need to do quite a lot of configurations. So these include three configurations inside your EC2 environment, which are create a new user login, then enable TCP/IP protocol, and add a firewall inbound rule to enable SQL Server connection. From outside EC2, which means on your physical computer, you also need to configure the security group of your EC2 so that it allows TCP/IP connections to go through the port 1433 used by SQL Server. Okay, so let's get started with the first security configuration. So in order to allow remote access, of course, we need to create a new user who will be accessing your database from outside EC2. Okay, so in order to create such a user, you need to first log in as system admin to your EC2 database. Then in the security, logins, expand the logins folder, you can create a new login. Where you can designate your login name. For example, this time I'm gonna use Mary as the login name, who will be using system SQL Server authentication with password. Okay, so I'm using 123 exclamation at pound lowercase QWE uppercase QWE as this password. Okay, so the first step is to create such login, and don't forget to change the default database and user mapping, which means which database you want these users to have access to and what privileges these users can do. This user can have on your database. Okay, so for more details, you can refer to a previous video I uploaded to YouTube. But for this example, I'm gonna skip them. Okay, so I just created a Mary as a new user to the EC2 database here. Okay, so step number 2 is to enable the TCP/IP protocol of your EC2 database. And to do so, you can go to the start menu of your Windows EC2 and search the SQL Server 2022 Configuration Manager. And in this configuration app, you need to expand SQL Server Network Configuration, select Protocols for MS SQL Server, and make sure the TCP/IP protocol is enabled. Okay, so sometimes it is disabled after you install SQL Server. So what you need to do is to just enable the TCP/IP protocol. Probably you will just enable all three of them. But if it is turned from disabled to enabled, you need to remember to go back to SQL Server Services tab, select SQL Server MS SQL Server Service, and restart it. Okay, because only by restarting the SQL Server instance, the changes you have made on the protocols will take effect. Okay, so don't forget to restart it after you make any changes to the protocol. So the next step is to add a firewall inbound rule to enable TCP/IP 1433 port access from outside. And this is done in the Windows security firewall of the EC2 Windows system. And to locate the firewall app, you need to search firewall in the start menu, and select this Windows Defender Firewall with Advanced Security and start it. Okay, and in this app, the thing you need to do is to select inbound rules from the left-hand side panel, add a new rule from the actions list. Okay, so here select port number, hit next. TCP, keep TCP here, and type 1433 as specific local ports. Okay, because the thing we're doing is to enable SQL Server connection from outside, and port number 1433 is the default port number used by Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, hit next. And we allowed such connections to go through. Okay, on all the 3 domains. Okay, and you can also give it a name such as SQL Server enabler. Okay, the name doesn't actually matter here. You just give any name that you can help you remember what it is. And hit finish. Okay, so far we have finished all the 3 steps inside EC2. Okay, so congratulations, we are done here. The last thing you need to do is configure the security group setting of your EC2 instance. Okay, but this is only doable outside EC2. I mean, from the computer with which you are accessing your EC2, you need to open the web browser and make such configuration. Okay, so this is the AWS console and the EC2 list that, so this MSIS 6671 is the EC2 instance I was running in this video. Okay. So in order to edit the security group of this server, you need to choose this server first, and then go to its security tab here. Okay, so you can scroll down. Okay, so this is the current inbound rules used by the MSIS 671 server under the security group. So you can click this blue hyperlink to jump into the security group inbound rules, where you can edit the inbound rules by adding a new rule that enable the access to the database inside your EC2. Okay, so to make that happen, hit the edit inbound rules button. Okay, then hit the add rule button here. Okay, so for the new rule that we are adding, we can keep the custom TCP type, protocol TCP, port range 1433. The source type, so for now I'm going to use the anywhere IPv4 represented by 4 zeros. Okay, so this means anyone, any users who knows the IP address of our EC2 and who are given the access to your database with login credentials, they will be able to access your EC2 database using this port number. Okay. But if you want your EC2 database to be safer, maybe you want to define a custom range by declaring which IP address range can access your database. Okay. But in this video, I will just use anywhere IPv4 to enable the remote access from any users. Okay. So after you made these settings, you can save the rules. Okay, so after finishing all these configurations, we are ready to access the database from outside EC2. So this is an SSMS outside EC2, which is installed in my physical computer. Okay, so this is different from the SSMS here. Okay, so this is the SSMS I was using to create the user Mary in the beginning of this video. Okay, so and this is a different SSMS that is installed outside the EC2. So to make a remote connection, we need to know several parameters, including the server name, the login, and password. Okay. So first of all, the server name when you make a remote connection is the IPv4 address of the target database, okay, which is also the IPv4 address of the EC2 instance you launched. Okay. In order to find the IPv4 address of the instance, okay, what you need to do is to click or choose the EC2 instance from your AWS console and check this value. Okay. The value written under the public IPv4 address, in this case, is 3.128.188.154. Okay, so we can copy this IPv4 address and paste it as the server name in the SSMS outside EC2. Okay, just want to make sure this is the SSMS outside EC2. So for the login and the password, we can use the Mary, okay, the new user we just added at the beginning of this video, and her password, okay, to make the connection. Okay, so since this is a new user, I need to create a secret password that only Mary knows. Okay, because the temporary password I was using was given by the system administrator, but Mary may want to create her own password for a secure login. Okay, so after creating the new password, Mary is able to log in to the EC2 database. But as you can see now, we don't see a student table showing up here. And this is because when we created the credential for Mary, we didn't give her the privileges to read the content from the student database. So to do so, we can right-click on the Mary, hit Properties, okay, to reopen this window. Okay, so from here, we can go to the user mapping and give Mary, for example, the data reader. Okay, the data reader or DB owner privileges, either of them. Okay, now go back to the SSMS outside EC2 and refresh. Okay, so you see this time Mary was able to access the students table and take a look at the contents of this table. Okay, so that concludes the video. This video was about how to allow remote connection from outside EC2 into the database you installed in your Amazon EC2 environment. Okay, so hope this video helps. Thanks for watching.